Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum dinatarinam Namayom Vishnu padaya Shri Gaura Priyamurtaye Srimate Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Namine Kripaya Kshamatama Paradhi Janam Khalushayuta Shakta Sudina Naram Supathe Parichalaya Sarvadinam Pranamami Cha Madhava Deva Padam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Granther Arambhe Kari Mangalacharan Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tine Rasmarane Hai Vigna Vinashan Anayase Hai Nija Vanchita Puran So today is disappearance of Sri Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya is the proponent of Dvaitavad, the philosophy of dualism, that there is the living entity and the living entity and the Supreme Lord. They are eternally two different entities. They were never one, they are never going to be one. This is the dualism or dualistic philosophy that Madhvacharya has proposed. He is a proponent of that. He took birth in South India in a place called Udupi on the northern direction of Mangalore. The Mangalore is there, which is further down Bangalore, means in the Karnataka, and on the southern side of this is a place called Udupi, or also in Udupi there is a village Pajaka Kshetra. So this is the exact birthplace. Pajaka Kshetra is the birthplace of Sri Madhvacharya. He took birth in 1160 AD. According to some, it is 1000 and something like that. So some say that he took birth in 1160, and some say 1121. These are the two different opinions. And he took birth on the Vijayadashami Tithi, a day before our Kartik Vrata begins, the Vijayadashami. So on that particular day he appeared, and his name was Vasudev. His father named him Vasudev, and his father's name is Madhvageha Narayana Bhatta. Mother is Vedavati. Vedavati is the name of the mother, and father is Madhvageha Narayana Bhatta. He is a very, very renowned person, Madhvageha Narayana Bhatta, and he himself was a very learned scholar. In Madhvacharya Sampradaya, Madhvacharya is offered prayers through a particular hymn. Here it is written, Srimad Hanuma Bhima Madhvantaragata Ramakrishna Vedavyasatmaka Lakshmi Hayagrivaya Namaha. This is the prayer of Madhvacharya. Srimad Hanuma Bhima Madhvantaragata. Pavan means the wind god. Hanuman is considered to be son of wind god. Also, Bhimasen, Bhim is also considered to be son of wind god. In a similar manner, Madhvacharya is also son of the wind god. Both the manifestations of Bhima and Hanuman are present in Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya is supposedly a very, very strong, even physically he was a very, very strong personality. So, Srimad Hanuman means Hanuman, his worshipable object is Ramachandra. Bhima, his worshipable object is Krishna. And in a similar manner, the same Madhvacharya, his object of worship is Vedavyasa. And thus, this particular mantra, Srimad Hanuma Bhima Madhvantaragata Rama Krishna Vedavyasatmaka Lakshmi Hayagrivaya Namaha. Lakshmi Hayagriva means Hayagriva Avatara. In Hayagriva Avatara, the Lord has rescued the Vedas. When a demon has stolen the Vedas, as Hayagriva, the Lord had rescued those. That is why this prayer, Srimad Hanuma Bhima Madhvantaragata Rama Krishna Vedavyasa, means Hanuman, Rama, Bhima, Krishna, Madhvacharya, Vedavyasa. Because it is said that Madhvacharya, he has composed some commentaries on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and he took these commentaries to Badrikashram. He went to Badrikashram, where he met Vedavyasa Muni personally. So Vedavyasa Muni, to the material eyes, he is not visible. We cannot see Vedavyasa Muni. He was there in Dwapar Yuga. But here Madhvacharya, through his submission to the entire parampara, he could directly, exchange words with Vedavyasa Muni, and to Vedavyasa Muni he presented his Gita's commentaries. Vedavyasa Muni went through the commentaries written by Madhvacharya. He was very, he was very much influenced by those commentaries, and then he gave him knowledge. There he had given instructions to him. Some Vedic instructions were given to Madhvacharya by Vedavyasa Muni. Therefore, in our parampara, every day we are singing in the kirtan in the morning, Krishna Hoite Chaturmukha. Means from Krishna it is coming to Chaturmukha Brahma, the four-headed Brahma. Brahma Hoite Naraderamati, from him to Narada. Narada Hoite Vyas, Vyasa Kahe Madhvadas. So from Vedavyasa Muni it came to Madhvacharya. And Madhvacharya's another name is Purna Pragya Tirtha. His name was Purna Pragya. His childhood name was Vasudev. His father named him Vasudev. And after he took initiation, he became Purna Pragya. And when he was coronated as an Acharya, he took the name Madhvacharya. So, the incident is like this, that his father got him admitted at Ananteshwara Mutt for his studies. And then, at that time, he met Achyuta Prekshakacharya. He met Achyuta Prekshakacharya, also known as Ananda Tirtha. He met Ananda Tirtha at that time, and from him he accepted Diksha. When he was studying in this Ananteshwar Mutt, at that time he met his guru, and then he got initiated from him. And then his guru gave him the name Purna Pragya, Purna Pragya Tirtha. That's another name of Madhvacharya. And as we heard just before, after he took the position of an Acharya, or he was coronated as an Acharya, he became Madhvacharya. So, other names of Madhvacharya is Purna Pragya, Ananda Tirtha, Ananda Jnana, Jnanananda, Anandagiri. These are all names of Madhvacharya only. Right from childhood, Madhvacharya has performed, some miraculous activities that, that are beyond this material plane, that an ordinary boy could perform. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada writes a few of those. He did not mention in detail, but just he has given indication or hint of what he used to perform even as a child. One time, they all went to Udupi. When they went to Udupi with the family, this Vasudev, means Madhvacharya as a child, Vasudeva, he was lost. Therefore, they returned, but he stayed there. So they were all worried for him. At that time, he was a very, very small boy. He was not a grown-up, very small boy. At that time, without any confusion, all by himself, he had come back to the house. So this is, our Prabhupada writes, this is one of those miraculous things. As a child, nobody would remember this, path, where to go to the house, all this. But even as a child, he could remember. One time, when his parents were not present, mother was not present, he was feeling extremely hungry. So he asked his elder sister, I want to eat something. He's Bhimasena, he's an incarnation of Bhima, he could eat a lot. So he asked his sister, and sister told that, oh, go, in that house there is a lot of grass meant for the cows, go and eat. So because she is also, maybe she is also fed up with his repeated eating, whatever it is, go and eat grass there. So he went to the room where, in the big room where the grass is kept, and he has eaten all the grass, finished everything. Nothing was left. So he has performed such miraculous things and uncommon things. And also one time, his father, he had borrowed some money from a person, but he could not repay that. And that the money lender was coming repeatedly to his father, that please give it, please give it. And Vasudeva, as a small child, he saw that he is coming and troubling my father repeatedly. So one day he told, I shall repay your debt. So he took the seed of a tamarind, and then he converted that seed into a gold coin. And then he told, take, from today you don't come and trouble my father any longer. So in this manner, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that he has performed many such miraculous events even as a child. And one time his mother also witnessed such. When he was 5 years old, he was given Upanayan, thread ceremony was performed. At that time he was going on Bhiksha, after Upanayan, after thread ceremony, Bhiksha means begging alms. That is one of the, practices. So when he was doing that, there was a big serpent that was there in that particular veranda with his thumb of the toe, with the toe, he had pressed that serpent and he killed it. But he could not. It is said that he was Maniman, a demon named Maniman, that is mentioned in Mahabharata. That Maniman only came there and he was killed by Madhvacharya. So his mother, she saw it, and then she was very, she was threatened to see the serpent, and the child was coiled by the serpent, and at that time, the child simply jumped out of that serpent, and then he came, and then mother was pacified. So in this manner, there are so many, miraculous incidents that have happened in the life of Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya has written 3 commentaries. Principally, he has written 3 commentaries. One is called Brahma Sutra Bhashyam or Sutra Bhashyam. Bhashyam means commentaries. So, Brahma Sutra Bhashyam he has written, or it's also called as Sutra Bhashyam, that is very, very vast. That is very vast, that is like, Ramanujacharya has written Sree Bhashya. In a similar manner, Madhvacharya has also written, Sutra Bhashya. It is very, very vast. And in this particular Bhashya, there is no clear cut, refutation of other philosophies like Shankara philosophy or other philosophies. They are not very clearly, refuted in this particular commentaries, but all those principal evidences for establishing a particular fact have been provided from the scriptures in this particular Bhashya commentary. And there is another Bhashya, it's called as Anubhasyam or Anuvyakhyanam, which is written in the form of verses. In this particular, Bhashyam or commentaries, purports, he has very clearly refuted all other isms, all other philosophies, very clearly refuted. And there is another thing also called as Anubhasyam, where he has taken the adhikaranas of all the Vedantas and then he has explained them through Sanskrit verses. So these are the principal contributions, main bhashyams. He has written over 38 different scriptures, books. But these are the principal, bhashyams or the commentaries that he has written. So there is another important incident that has happened in the life of Madhvacharya that Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to very often narrate. That is, one time after he had taken Diksha from Vedavyasa Muni in Badrikashram, he was returning back, and at that time only he has written Sutra Bhashya. He has freshly heard Vedavyasa Muni speak to him on the scriptures. So while returning back, he has compiled the Sutra Bhashyam, the commentaries on the Vedanta Sutras. And the one who accompanied him during that particular journey, his name was Satyatirtha, he has written. Means Madhvacharya spoke and then he has given it a written form. Then Madhvacharya came to Ganjam, and in Godavari he entered, he came to the Godavari river. There he has defeated two Shastris. Shastris means experts in scriptures. They are called as Shobhana Bhatta and Swami Shastri. Both these were defeated by his logic and by his scriptural study, and he initiated both of them. Madhvacharya initiated both of them. They became Padmanabha Tirtha and Narahari Tirtha. In our parampara, Padmanabha Tirtha comes. Purna Pragya Padmanabhavati. Purna Pragya is Madhvacharya's another name. He has given it to Padmanabha. So that is, we are in that succession. So this Padmanabha Tirtha was the one who was defeated by Madhvacharya on his way back to Udupi, when he was coming back from Badrikashram. Then he returned to Udupi. After returning to Udupi, one day he was heading towards the ocean to take bath. So while heading towards the ocean, he had compiled, he was singing the prayers of the Lord, and then he compiled 5 chapters. While going to take bath itself, he was reciting the prayers and then compiled 5 chapters of verses. Then after taking bath, he was sitting on the sand, the beach, and then he suddenly saw that a boat that is heading towards Dwaraka and carrying the various paraphernalia for the service of Dwarakadhish Krishna, it is sinking in the waters. So when he saw that it is sinking in the waters through different gestures, hand gestures, etc., he made that boat, float. Then the businessman who was inside that particular boat, or who was the proprietor of that, he saw that it is due to Madhvacharya, all his money, etc., whatever he is carrying, the entire paraphernalia is protected. So he wanted to give something in remuneration to Madhvacharya. And to which Madhvacharya told that, what will I do with these things? I don't want anything. I just wanted to save the Lord's property. But he was, very severely bent to offer something in return. So finally Madhvacharya told, okay, I shall take this Gopi Chandan. There is a big lump of Chandan. He told that I am okay to take this Gopi Chandan. And the merchant very blissfully gave that Gopi Chandan to him. And then he was carrying that Gopi Chandan back to his house. On the way, the Gopi Chandan broke, and from inside, a small Balakrishna Murti, a small Murti of Balgopal, small Krishna form appeared from within. And in one of his hands, he is holding a churning rod, and in another hand he is holding the churning rope, the rope that is used to bind the churning rod. So by seeing this beautiful form of Balgopal, he was completely enchanted, and then he compiled another 7 chapters of shlokas, which is known as Dvadasha Stotra, 12 stotras, 12 chapters of the stotras. So total he has compiled Dvadasha Stotra in before darshan and after darshan. Now the Balgopal deity, now it needs to be taken to the Udupi Mutt, where he is going to establish, Nindara Prabhuji, where it is to be established. So now many strong people, they tried to lift this Gopal deity, very small, not very big, but they were not able to carry Gopal. So then Madhvacharya very easily, because he is also called as an incarnation of Hanuman and Bhima, and of course the Lord came for his purpose only, therefore he could very easily lift the deity, and then he installed it in the mutt in Udupi mutt. There are 8 mutts, and then there are 8 principal sannyasi disciples of Madhvacharya who serve this Balgopal Murti, taking turns. Srila Prabhupada writes here, just like in Brajadham, the Ashtasakhis, the 8 Sakhis are serving Krishna. In a similar manner, these 8 sannyasis, they serve this Balgopal Murti, taking turns, one after another they serve in this manner. It is even today that system is prevailing. It's a very small Murti. Those who have seen, very beautiful Murti, and each day they decorate him in different veshas, Balgopal Murti, very very beautiful. Just like Radharaman deity, very small, he is also very very small. You have seen, no?
हिंदी में था ना आपके घर में वो पिक्चर,
उड़पी कृष्णा बोलते हैं।
फोटो गूगल पे तो
फोटो, हाँ,
और उससे पता नहीं चलता कि इतने छोटा है।
छोटा बहुत है। So this service of Balgopal is prevalent in this manner even till this date. So from different mutts, 8 mutts, the different sannyasis come and then they perform service. Another incident that happened in the life of Sri Madhvacharya is, he as a child, one time he told his father that he is going to refute the philosophy of Shankaracharya. His father, he told that, why are you so impudent? Why do you think that you can do this? Shankaracharya, his philosophy is spread all around and he is very very famous, and his philosophy is respected by everyone. It is impossible for anyone to refute the philosophy of Shankaracharya, as impossible as my dry stick in my hands is not going to give any fruits. In a similar manner, your words are also useless. They are not going to bear any fruits. So Madhvacharya immediately told his father, "My dear father, if I can make this stick produce fruits, will you believe that I will be able to refute Shankara Sampradaya?" Saying thus, he has taken the stick from his father's hand, and then so powerfully he had put it in the ground, and while in front of them only, while they are just seeing it, it has grown big. It started to bear fruits. Madhvacharya gave the fruit of the tree to his father to eat, and Madhvacharya's father was completely astounded that, wow, how is this possible? Then he could understand his son is not ordinary person, and he is very soon going to refute the Shankara philosophy. So at the age of 12, Madhvacharya left his family life. Even without the permission of his father and mother, he took sannyas at the age of 12. And then he propagated the dualistic philosophy, means the philosophy of dualism all around. And he has written Mayavada Shatadushani, 100 defects in Mayavada philosophy. Shankara philosophy, there are 100 defects. He has shown very clearly all of those. In this manner, he has refuted this particular sampradaya. Now, there are different scriptures that are written by Madhvacharya. Names I will read here, they are mentioned here. Gita Bhashya, Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Anubhasyam, Anubhashya Anuvyakyan, Pramana Lakshan, Katha Lakshan, Upadi Khandan, Mayavada Khandan, Prapancha Mithyatvam Anumana Khandan, the thinking that the world is mithya. So this kind of logic has been refuted in this book. Mayavada Khandan, the Mayavada philosophy has been refuted in this book. Tattva Sankhyana, Tattva Vivek, Tattvodhyota, Karma Nirnay, Srimad Vishnu Tattva Nirnay, Rig Bhashya, Aitreya Bhashya, these are the commentaries to different Upanishads. Aitreya Bhashya, Brihadaranyaka Bhashya, Chandogya Bhashya, Taitreya Upanishad Bhashya, Ishavasyopanishad Bhashya, Kathopanishad Bhashya, Shat Prashna Upanishad Bhashya, Talavakaropanishad Bhashya, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Tatparya Nirnay, Sriman Nyaya Vivaran, Sri Narasingha Nakhastotra, prayers to the nails of Nrsingadev, Jamaka Bharata, Dwadasha Stotra, these are the 12 stotras that he has compiled before and after getting the deity, Balgopal Deity. Sri Krishnamrita Maharnava, Tantra Sara Sangraha, Sadachara Smriti, Srimad Bhagavata Tatparya, Sriman Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnay, Yati Pranava Kalpa, Jayanti Nirnay, and Sri Krishna Stuti. These are the various scriptures that he has compiled. Here, our most revered Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has accepted initiation in the line of Madhva Sampradaya. His previous acharyas, Ishwar Puripad and Madhavendra Puripad, they are coming in the lineage of Madhva Sampradaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has particularly chosen this Madhva Sampradaya because the Madhvas, they believe that living entities and the Supreme Lord are eternal, and living entity is eternally subservient to the Supreme Lord. This is what Madhva Sampradaya's strong proposition is. Whereas Ramana Sampradaya, Vishishtadvaita, this is pure dualism. Madhvacharya is pure dualism. There is absolute difference. Whereas in Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, it is Vishishtadvaita, means particularly with particular attributes there is a difference. But it's also dualistic philosophy, but with particular attributes. Whereas here, he considers it completely purely dualistic. He has refuted the monistic philosophy completely, Madhvacharya. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted, because they also accept the deity form of the Supreme Lord to be eternal. The Madhvas, they accept the deity form of the Supreme Lord to be eternal. So these are the few particular things that he has accepted in Madhva Sampradaya, and thus he himself took Harinam in this particular lineage. According to Madhvacharya, other than Vishnu, all the demigods, they are servants of Vishnu. The Madhvacharya's philosophy, they also have this understanding that all the demigods are Vishnu Bhaktas, devotees of Vishnu. And they are always subservient to Vishnu. And they are recipients of Vishnu's mercy. This is what they strongly believe in. Means even though they worship, there is a kind of worship in Madhva Sampradaya to the other demigods also. Madhva Sampradaya, there is one thing that is a little different in Madhva Sampradaya is they give lot of importance to Karma Kanda activities. They are not as, fervent in propagation of the Vaishnava culture as in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sampradaya. They promote more or less karmic kind of activities, in the sense that entering into the marital life and performing Vishnu Bhakti. This is what they believe in the most. That is why they in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when we go through, we will read there that Mahaprabhu had a discussion with these Tattvavadis. They are called Tattvavadis because they are too much into Tattva. Madhva Sampradaya, they are too much into Tattva. Means, so much of discussion and jnana and deliberation on that is very, very, prevalent in Madhva Sampradaya. Like in Ramanuja Sampradaya, they give a lot of emphasis to the Vaishnava Seva, service to the Vaishnavas. But here they give a lot of emphasis to knowledge, discussion about knowledge. So this is what is little different. That is why our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he meets the Madhva Sampradaya people in South India during his South India tour, there he talks to them, why are you so much into discussion about all these things? They also do Panchopasana. Panchopasana means worship of the 5 demigods. Of course, they don't take them to be gods. They think them to be Vishnu Bhaktas only. But nonetheless, there is this process of worshipping these 5 demigods. Panchopasana it's called. 5 demigods means, who are they?
Vishnu, Ganesh, Shakti, Devi, Durga,
Surya, sun. These are the 5 Panchopasana. Means they worship Ganesh, Durga, Shiva, Vishnu and Surya. Panchopasana. 5 presiding 5 deities they worship, which is not there in our Sampradaya. Even in Sree Sampradaya, it is not so prevalent. But in Madhva Sampradaya, they do. That is why, Mahaprabhu had discussion with them. Now, in one verse, the philosophy of Madhvacharya is explained. The verse is like this: Shriman Madhvamate Harihi Paramam Parataram Satyam Jagat Tattvato Bhedo Jivagana Harer Anuchara Nichocha Bhavam Gataha मुक्तिर्नैज सुखानुभूतिरमला भक्तिश्च तत्साधन मक्षादित्रितयं प्रमाणम अखिलां नायैक वेद्या वेद्यो हरिहि. So according to Madhvacharya, Hari or Vishnu is Paratama Tattva, is the supreme truth. There is no truth beyond Vishnu or Hari. And Jagat Satya. This material world is not false. It's not illusion. Ishvara means the Lord, the living entity, and the world, the material world. In these three, there is Nitya Bheda. They are eternally different. They are never one. Never was the world one with the Lord or the living entities one with the Lord. And never is it going to happen. They are eternally different. The Lord, the living entities, and the world. And the living entities are subservient to Hari. According to their own adhikara, capacity, there is difference in the living entities. Means all living entities are not the same. According to their capacity, there are different bhavas, feelings in them. That is, as for example, in Golok Vrindavan also we see that there are 5 different rasas. There is eternal difference between these living entities also. That is what he is proving, that all living entities are not one. They are exchanging in different moods with the Supreme Lord. According to their own capacity and according to their own bhava, they are different by nature. They are never one. And to be established in real or eternal happiness, absolute happiness, is what is mukti. Mukti, liberation, means not deliverance from the material problems. To be established in the eternal absolute bliss, ananda, that is mukti. And in order to get that mukti or eternal bliss, amala bhakti means unalloyed devotion is the only sadhana, is only practice, is the only means by which one can attain that mukti, means eternal or permanent bliss. Pratyaksha, Anumana and Shabda, these are the main pramanas. Direct perception, interpretation, and Shabda and sound. These are the 3 principal pramanas, means truths or establishment of the truths. And Hari is the one who is to be known through all the Vedas. These are the proponents of Dvaita Siddhanta of Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya's proposition about Dvaita Siddhanta, these are the truths, these are the what you call doctrines. These are the doctrines of Madhva's philosophy. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Mahaprabhu has met these Madhva Sampradaya Tattvavadis, that is where he has very clearly established that Sharanagati is the topmost thing, not Tattvavada, not discussions about these subjects, but Sharanagati is the only means by which one can attain that salvation which is permanent bliss. He says here, Prabhu kahe karmi jnani dui bhaktihin. Whether it is karmi or jnani. Jnani means who is deliberating a lot about knowledge. Both of them are without devotion, whether it is karmi or jnani. Tomar sampradaya dekhi sei dui chehna. In your parampara, I am seeing that both of these things are there. Karmi, they are attached to performance of household activities. They give a lot of emphasis that everyone should get married and everyone should perform the household duties properly in order to get mukti. Means they say it is also part of that. They give emphasis to karma also and jnana also. So Mahaprabhu is telling that in your sampradaya, I am seeing that you give emphasis to both karma and jnana. But both of them are bhaktihin, without devotion. They are not in devotion. Sabe ekaguna dekhi tomara sampradaye Satya Vigraha Ishware Kariho Nishchay. But I see that there is one thing very, a great quality in your sampradaya. That is that you accept the deity or you accept the form of Supreme Lord to be eternal. Like in Mayavad, they don't consider the Lord's form to be eternal. They say that it is Nirguna Brahma and it is Saguna Brahma. Brahman with attributes is living entity. Attributes means he is conditioned. Brahman without attributes, that is the liberated state. So Krishna, when he comes, or whenever Rama etc. come, they are all Saguna Brahma. Saguna means with material attributes. They have got a physical body, material qualities. They also grow. They also steal. These things. These are material attributes. So Krishna is a Saguna Brahma, and Nirguna Brahma is our target. That is what they propose. Shankara Sampradaya. So Mahaprabhu says, you accept the Lord's deity form to be eternal. This is the greatest quality in your Sampradaya. In this manner, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks about the why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has particularly chosen this path. Oh, time is up. Okay, I will stop here. There are certain differences between Shankara Sampradaya and Madhva Sampradaya that are given here. I will not, without going into very much detail, I will say Shankara Sampradaya, they say that one of that I already told, Saguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma. They say that living entities, Saguna Brahma, their existence is not there. It's false. It's illusion. And they, when they realize that they are that Brahman, they become one with Brahman. This Shankara Sampradaya says. Whereas Madhva Sampradaya says there is an eternal difference between the two. Living entity is eternally subservient to Supreme Lord. This is what they propose. He is not false. The living entity is not false. Living entity is eternal. And also the difference is that they say this material world, they say that this is mithya, is non-existing. Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. Whereas Madhva Sampradaya, they say that it's not mithya, but it is, it is not illusion, but it is temporary, non-eternal. This is what it is said. So there are some details, but I will not go into it because time is up. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatattvatmak Shri Gaur Hari ki jai. Paramaraditam Patita Pavana Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Leela Pravishwam Vishnupad Pranamsa Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jagat Guru Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. जय श्री श्री मध्वाचार्य प्रभु की जय. तदीयतिरोभाव तिथि पूजा की जय. जय समागत हरिकथा श्रवणकारी भक्त वृंद की जय. अनंत कोटि भक्त वृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.